What's up, guys? Today's a big day yesterday was a big day. Yesterday was a big day as the Star Wars The Clone Wars panel dropped, and they dropped 3 clips and a trailer. But, so the first clip, let's just talk about the first clip. The first clip was about the Bad Batch, right? Just stopping a bunch of droids. As I said, I watched this, the Bad Batch and the Utapau story reel, right? But they said that they changed it as continuity changed, because there was tweaks, and as animation changed, they changed stuff and changed as Star Wars grew. From they made it as probably around the time when Clone Wars was getting canceled, and now, probably about 4 years later, some stuff changed, as there was no Rebels, there was no Resistance, there wasn't even any, movies out. There wasn't any Disney Star Wars movies out. And now it's like we're getting a 5th one very, very soon. So that's pretty crazy. And so that's why a lot of things did change. Then you got a clip with Asoka. You know how much it had there? I saw that there was like a deleted scene of her doing this. Or not deleted scene, unfinished animated scene, but it was with a boy and stuff, but they changed that and stuff. And remember how there's going to be an arc with her and these 2 sisters that are going to go on an adventure with Asoka after she leaves the Jedi Temple. So this is going to be a storyline that's going to take place instead of Asoka meeting a boy and, going out with him and going on adventures with him. So it's kind of a already presented story arc with a lot of renditions and changes that have been made. And I think that's interesting. According to the trailer, they were dealing with Pike syndicates, and now it was pretty cool on that part. And the sisters seem interesting. And something I like about this arc is seeing, Ahsoka have to adjust to something so different, something she's never been used to, never seen before. And seeing her journey through that, seeing how she gets to see what the underworld of Coruscant at level 1313 is like through the eyes of 2 sisters. And I'm excited to see Ahsoka's daily underworld Coruscant routine. See, just expanding the world of the underworld of Coruscant. And of course, Ahsoka's amazing. And I think, as you could see by the trailer, Bo-Katan was down there. So I'm interested if she recruits her. That might be interesting to see how Bo-Katan plays into her. Maybe Ahsoka recognizes her. Maybe she recognizes Bo-Katan. I don't really know. And then the Pikes factoring in seems pretty cool. So I'm pretty intrigued by that arc. But then you got the Bad Batch arc. Obviously, I've talked about it many times. It was my top 10 favorite arcs, even though it was unfinished. And I think this is obviously they said they're changing a few things, and from what they show with the droids and the Bad Batch, it looks really cool. I love how the Bad Batch looks fully animated. I love how the new clones kind of look fully animated, because they did say that they did tweak it, and you can't really tell, but you could tell that their facial cheekbones changed a little bit, but you can't really tell, all that much. But nonetheless, it's great to see the clones in action again. You can't deny that. That's just the honest truth. But up next is going to be the Siege of Mandolore. Oh boy. So let's start off by saying a few things that I think will definitely pique our interest. So we're going to talk about what Dave Filoni and Sam Witwer said, because they getting pretty close to spoiler town. Pretty close to spoiler town. Snoss, what did they say? I'll go into that. So, Sam Witwer said that obviously Darth Maul's coming back, but anyways, he said that Darth Maul's, kind of been cursed, kind of always been. He compared his life to pulling up 100 or 1,000 or like a heavy rock up a hill and then just falls down and has to do it again and again, and how he's always tried but failed to get out of this loop, out of this circle, and every time he feels like he's at his top, he keeps falling down again. And I feel like, and then he said that this is his first time he actually has a step forward in his character arc, has a step forward, tries to get out of this pain. And I think that's very interesting, is that, yeah, that is true. Darth Maul is doing this. Maul's doing all this shit because he's in pain, because he wants revenge, because he has vengeance. And I think the thing about you need to realize about that is that, what could that mean? Because you're seeing his empire that he built up crumble in his face. And now, remember when you see him in Rebels, he's old, he seems like really weird, he seems like someone who's been through a lot. Obviously, just by experiences in seasons 5 of Clone Wars and Episode 1, but I think it still didn't feel fully completed with the fact that what brings him so broken. And I think that's the big thing, is that he probably is gonna feel really broken after what he's been through and all this stuff and all these different places. And now he finally wants a way out of this. Finally wants to set himself down. Finally wants to meditate. Finally wants to let loose. And how does he let loose? While searching for kyber crystals. Throughout his whole journey, obviously, still has that peak of, I want to kill Obi-Wan. I want to kill all these people. Right? But maybe he wants a new goal, and maybe at the end of this, because obviously, both Asoka, as much as cool it's going to be to see Asoka and Darth Maul in battle, we both know they're going to survive, but that probably might not take away any tension at all. But I am excited to see, maybe he gets wounded. Maybe I'm excited to see what this Siege of Mandolore has to further impact. A guy who's been cut in half, a Force Light, had tortured by Force Lightning, been a prisoner of Count Dooku, of Darth Sidious, worked with Count Dooku, fought Obi-Wan, 3 times? 2 times, and then 3 times. Phantom Menace. Then he faced twice in Revenge. Then technically twice in Rivals. That's 4 plus 5. And then I don't know if you want to count the Lawless. So kind of 5 times. And now I'm excited to see Asoka and Darth Maul is kind of their epitome of each other. And some say, you obviously could say, I'd like to say a comparison between Asajj Ventress and Asoka, in the sense that Asajj, she doesn't really start out evil, but let's say she's an apprentice to a really powerful master, and who started out good and turned bad. Asoka, apprentice to a guy who started out good and turned bad. Instead of a good guy turning bad, a bad guy, or good guy turning bad. Both of them they basically couldn't trust them. They felt like they couldn't trust them went on their own, left it, and they both became almost like an anti-hero. But obviously Ahsoka's not an anti-hero, but kind of. In the sense of she's not a Jedi. She's kind of a gray Jedi, while Asajj is more of an anti-hero. But still, a cold-blooded villain. I'm not saying... I'd still categorize her as a villain. But you see that anti-hero traits in her. But there's kind of a comparison. But Darth Maul and Ahsoka could be another great duel. But another thing to add to that is that Ray Park, the guy who was the martial artist who did the stunts and the amazing Duel of Fates duel in the Phantom Menace, and he's going to be in motion capture to do this duel, which would make it probably the most authentic lightsaber duel. Not of all of Star Wars. That would probably go to the Duel of Fates. But this would make it the most authentic battle in the Clone Wars. And then guess what? They gave him a double-bladed lightsaber. So I feel like all the elements that you loved of Darth Maul's fighting style in Phantom Menace will be returned and jacked up to 11 in this fight. And I also love, so that's something you could enjoy from that. But other things I enjoyed, and more on the Siege of Mandalore, more of all this. I love the Mandalore. I love the Mandalorians, obviously. And I'm excited for the Mandalorian TV show, but more on the Mandalorians inside this trailer and Clone Wars. I love the whole Civil War aspect of the Lawless episode, so I'm excited to see that expand more. Of course, Bo-Katan is supposedly to have a pivotal role in the Siege of Mandalore, so that's why I'm like, okay, I'm buying that. I'm definitely buying the whole idea of it being, I'm totally buying that, and I'm excited for that, because obviously, they're not showing everything in the trailer, because I've seen the Bad Batch arc, and I know how, if you want to prove me how, because I've seen the Bad Batch arc, I have an idea of how much stuff they didn't show in the trailer for the Bad Batch. And then for the Siege of Mandalore and the other two arcs, I feel like they showed the most. Okay, I feel like they showed the most for the first arc with Asoka. That could mean because that's the least ambitious of the arcs. Not saying it's going to be the worst. Saying it's the least ambitious of the arcs. That's why they showed the most out of that. Any of them. But I don't really know. I mean, it could be up for grabs. And this whole trailer, I feel like this whole punchline, was so centered around Ahsoka. Which is safe to say because pretty much 2 of those arcs involve Ahsoka heavily. It makes sense. But that's totally fine. In a sense, it's the clones and Ahsoka's kind of show. I know that they do a good representative job, but what's the one Jedi you see grow, change, and eventually leave the Jedi Order and become a grown woman in both Clone Wars and Rebels? It's Rex and Ahsoka. And all the other clones. So, funnily enough, it makes sense that she'd have a pivotal role in all this. And I'm not taking that away from her because she deserves it. Her character legitimately had a full story arc. Which I'm not saying any other character did because it made sense. This is only a part of Anakin's story arc. This is only a part of Obi-Wan's story arc. There's only a part of Mace Windu's story arc. But the clones in Ahsoka are different. That's why we're getting a Bad Batch arc and then the Siege of Mandalore, because of course Mandalore because we're getting probably one of my favorite, because it just all lines up pretty well. But there's more I want to talk to you about. I want to talk about the up of the style of animation. And now this was something I loved. Seeing how it looked more, how the outfits and stuff look more closely to how it looked in Revenge of the Sith. For one thing, I liked how the just style. It had the style of the Clone Wars. Had the style of the Clone Wars, but still use these the modern technology to advance it even more, to make it better. And that's what I love, is that if they take they take the format of a great Clone Wars animation, how the animation is, and up it with better animation, better styles, and all in all, the same stuff we love about the Clone Wars throughout it all. And it's going to be consistent, because I will say I didn't really like how Rebels looked as far as the animation, but I think I'm making a video. Okay. But I just see that it got reamped better. And so that's what I like. They're taking it to the next level. A few more things I want to talk about is that so that's kind of it. Obviously, Admiral Trench has returned. So I'm going to talk about all of it. Okay, I'm just talking about... Oh, and the Bad Batch, I really like the idea of that. I already talked about that. But I'm just going to recap. Bad Batch, I like. Asoka's story, I like. I'm interested by these two sisters. Siege of Mandalore, I'm super excited about, because Dave Filoni and Sam Witwer like, this is the biggest project we've done. And because I feel like it's probably going to be a full-on war. With Rex, with Asoka, with Mandalorians. Because, look what you get in this arc. You get Civil War of Mandalorians. You get Darth Maul at the helm. You get clones in the battle. You get Asoka in the battle. I read an article that Darth Maul and Obi-Wan will have a rematch in this arc. And I was like, what? Now I don't even know if that's true. That could easily be false, and I'm probably thinking that's false, because it doesn't really make sense. So they're gonna have another rematch? As much as that excites me, I'm not sure. I think maybe Anakin might be involved. Obviously, they're not involved much. It's mostly gonna be Ahsoka, but then I'm excited to see Ahsoka get her two bleeds that actually it's probably the same bleeds in Rebels. So I'm interested to see how the color dies out. So I'm just excited to fill in the gap. And all in all, I want more Clone Wars. And if you want more Clone Wars information, then click subscribe and stay tuned for more videos. I also recently did a video with other talking about Clone Wars, so I'll try to put the link up above.